I had this idea that I was gonna grind like Sheik versus Puff, but what I would do is learn how to needle really well, and my game plan would revolve around maneuvering around the platforms and just charge needles. And then the moment I get like 20% lead, then I would examine every situation involving me ledge camping and Shino stalling. And then I would look to see what the counterplay is from the Puff side of thing is. And then I would literally master every scenario that involves me ledge grabbing and Hungrybox challenging me camping the ledge. And then I would probably get a ton of free hits. And then my game plan would be Shino stall, Shino stall, Shino stall. If Hungrybox gets close enough, then I'm going to go off the ledge. And most likely Hungrybox is going to have to extend off the stage. And then I get a free walk to the other side of the stage. And then I just Shino stall, Shino stall, Shino stall. And I actually thought about like learning how to do like just do that portion. So the whole point of learning how to needles is so that I can get an early lead, like a 10%, a 10% lead, and I would play it to time. And my response would be, if somebody calls me out on it, is, you know, we should probably change the rules, because I'm only doing this to make a point that the rules should be changed. That there should be a ledge grab limit of some sort. Or else, like, you can't blame me for doing this, because I am doing what I'm perceived to be the best way to win. But that was like one of my ideas for playing against Hungrybox if I ever played him. I almost did it to against Armada at Evo. I literally top platform camped him, and it actually worked really well on Dreamland. And I stopped committing to the strat because I was there was about, I think, how many minutes? I'm trying to remember the clock situation in that game. There's about like probably like 3.5 minutes left, and we both had 3 stocks. And Armada was at like 120, and I was at 60. So I had a pretty sizable lead. And then what ended up happening was Armada got off stage on Dreamland, and then it looked like I could fair him, so I went to try to edge guard his up B. I missed the fair, and then I end up getting hit by something, and then I die at 90, and then I lose my lead. And then now I'm forced to approach with not much time left, and then I ended up losing. But I was committing hard to a top platform strategy, and Armada as Peach really couldn't do anything to fight it, which is kind of cool. But alas, somewhere in the 3-minute and 30-second mark, I thought I could extend the lead, but there was no reason to extend the lead. I had the lead. I could just keep top platform camping, and if it runs its course, I could have won that, but alas, I didn't fully commit to the strategy, and then I lost. Fox Pikachu, I think the crazy thing is how much Axe makes in terms of like how much punish he gets off of so little. I think that's like a testament to how good Axe is as a player. He's able to make a lot out of so little. And I think Fox wins, like, I think when Fox, like, it's not even like a huge execution thing, but I think like at a base level, like a solid Fox should beat an equally skilled Pikachu. Like, I think the issue is that like we also have this in League where we call certain champions like scrim god champions. Like, they're really good in scrims for certain reasons, because it's like they require a high level of performance, and like the win conditions around it require like a high degree of execution. But it's like hard to translate that to stage, because it requires you to like play very confidently and aggressively. Because if you don't play aggressively with certain champions and push advantages, then like the champion becomes useless very quick because it gets outscaled. So it requires you to be like super Chad in terms of like just like going in. But like if you're on stage, like it's scary to make riskier plays, and so you end up playing conservatively with a champion that should be played aggressively. So there's like a meme, if you guys follow League, called like NA Jace or NA Rengar, where a champion named Rengar gets played a lot, but like for whatever reason it keeps losing in North America, and part of the reason why is because you need to play Rengar very aggressively, but like in actual stage people play it passively and it doesn't get to do the things it's supposed to be doing. Same thing with a lot of Jace players. Oh yeah, that's actually a really funny set. That was me in a set against Smeb. You know what's really funny? I actually ran into him. So I went to Canada for my brother's bachelor's party like a while back, and I went to visit the Melee scene, and the guy named Smeb, the guy I beat at EVO that one tournament where Scar and Toph are commentating, he turned out to be there at the tournament, and then he looked really different, so I didn't recognize him. But like he was just like, "Yo, I'm that random guy you beat when Scar and Toph didn't know that you were the Fox player." And then we just had like a funny laugh about it. But I ended up meeting the guy again. So in this analogy, going back to Fox and Pikachu, Fox, when not nervous, plays much better. So there are players like Hacks that we will say always does well in friendlies, but tournament nerves and all that fun stuff, like it does matter. And playing a high execution character like Fox, like you have to take into the fact that you're not going to perform as well in a high pressure environment as Fox as you are with like a character with less execution. Like it's just reality. So Fox just has a higher degree of execution, and I think that matters. Like in Melee, like the performance standards means that like it's gonna be and this is a huge mistake a lot of people make. You're not gonna perform perfectly ever, like in Melee, especially in tournament. Like flubbing, messing up, your opponent messing up, that's part of Melee. And until you accept that that's part of the game, that people will mess up, I think this is like what I call the hack syndrome. Like until you accept that Melee is a game where mistakes happen, like if you don't accept it as like the reality, then you delude yourself into like theory crafting that makes no sense. It's like, and you get players that have faulty analysis of, if I had better tech skill here, I would have won the game. Sure, but like you could have also made the game easier for yourself. You didn't have to put yourself in situations where you have to land these like one frame maneuvers or these perfect ledge dashes every time. Like you could make this easier for yourself, but some people will just assume that they can execute perfectly, and I think that's a terrible mindset to have in terms of like game theorizing. Like people are gonna make mistakes. Like people are gonna miss tech chases. It's just part of the game, and that's something you're gonna have to factor in when like you evaluate matchups or you strategize. It's just like the reality is you will mess up. Aggression was part of the League metaphor. Like